I've had an itch for a game that could scratch that garlic-stuffed part of my brain that Warioland 4 created all the way back in 2001, and finally someone made that exact game. Pizza Tower takes all the things that were great about the Warioland games, puts it on steroids, covers it with cheese, and serves it to you on a hot steaming platter of ooey gooey style. It's absolutely fantastic, and I think you need to give it a shot. Pizza Tower began development in 2018 and was made by a small development team by the name of Tour de Pizza, led by McPig. This game wears all of its inspiration on its sleeve proudly, and oozes with style in both gameplay and aesthetics. And of course the soundtrack, composed by Mr. Saucepan, Classy Gito, and Post Elvis, it absolutely bops. Just listen to this and tell me it doesn't make you want to grow a mustache and open a pizzeria. The game has the exact amount of story that it needs. You are Peppino Spaghetti, proud owner of Peppino's Pizza. Then a mysterious tower shows up, run by a scary pizza man who wants to blow up your humble pizza shop. What more does a hot, red-blooded Italian paisano need to jump into action? If I had to describe this game's style, and hear me out here, I would say it has the animation and look of an episode of Ren and Stimpy, mixed with the aesthetics of a Pajama Sam game, with the theming of Earthworm Jim mixed with Warioland. I know it's a lot, but I really don't know how else to describe it, and it might be my favorite part of the whole game. It just seems like Peppino has an animation for absolutely everything, from bumping into a surface, to his taunts, to the sheer variety of animations he goes through while running or attacking. I found myself just experimenting to try and see if I could get him to do all the animations. And that's just Peppino. I didn't even mention how good all the enemies and bosses look, along with the levels, each of which has its own themes, enemies, and everything. The game just really oozes style, and I know it had my eyes stuck to the screen, and I'd be willing to wager that it'll have your eyes stuck to the screen as well. But if style wasn't enough to keep you glued, the gameplay will strap you in like an F1 race car. This game is fast, and as I said earlier, it wears all of its inspiration on its sleeve. And if I had to best try to summarize the gameplay, I'd say it's a Wario-Land game at its core, with the sheer speed of a Sonic game and some of the mechanics of a Metroid game, which, lucky for me, I love all those games. The game takes place in the titular Pizza Tower, broken up into 5 floors with about 4 levels each, plus 1 boss per floor. For those of you who don't know what Wario Land 4 was like, basically you navigate your way through a level until you get to the end where you find Pillar John. Once you take him out, it's pizza time, which means now you have to sprint all the way to the start of the level. Each level usually has its own mechanic, most of which are unique, interesting, and above all else, really fun. In order to navigate all those levels, Peppino has quite the variety of moves at his disposal. He can grab, slam, slide, dive, duck, climb. You name it, Peppino can probably do it. On top of that, he shares the ability to take an absolute boatload of punishment, enabling him to have a variety of transformations that open up even more gameplay options, from turning into a ghost to getting crushed into a pizza box. Hell, there's even a level where you have a gun, and it works way better than you think it would. There are also some levels where you play as Gustavo, who also seemingly has some business with the Pizza Tower. The game just has a lot of variety and will keep you replaying levels over and over to try and get a better and better score. The only thing in your way from getting those scores is the fantastic level design. If you want that coveted high score, you'll have to navigate at max speed, utilizing everything in Peppino's platforming toolbox to do so. At its core, the game's about gaining and keeping momentum. The faster you can go, the longer you can keep your combos active and get a good score at the end of the level, which firmly puts this game into the category of easy to play but difficult to master, and that makes it highly replayable, which is a great thing because beating the game in the most basic sense only took me about 8 hours, which isn't bad, but it's not really long either. But all of the secrets and hidden items will have you replaying the levels over and over and over. I personally haven't found an indie game that's quite made me feel this way, probably since Hotline Miami or Super Meat Boy came out. This game's truly a blast to play in every sense of the word, from style and gameplay to level and sound design. I can without a doubt recommend picking it up if you're at all interested in embracing your inner Italian and taking on the Pizza Tower.